Have you ever asked yourself the question, why doesn't God answer my prayers? Well, in this video, I give you my thoughts, and I traveled to Washington D.C. to talk to 2 Holocaust survivors to hear their thoughts on prayer. Hey guys, good morning. Before I start today's vlog, I wanted to answer a question that I've actually been getting quite a bit in the comment section below. The question that's usually asked has some sort of variation of this, and it goes like this: why doesn't God answer my prayers? Or what do I do when it doesn't sound like God is answering my prayers? Like, what's the deal with that? And like, I deeply appreciate this question because it's so real. Every single one of us has wrestled at some point in our lives with unanswered prayers, or prayers that we felt like were unanswered. And here's what I mean by that. When I was younger, people told me that God traditionally has 3 answers to our prayer requests. Number 1 is an answer of yes, number 2 is an answer of no, and number 3 is just simply not yet. Many times when we think that God isn't answering our prayer, we say that because He hasn't answered yes. But the truth is, just like anyone else, God can actually say no or just wait. And it's in those moments of no or waiting that we find it really hard, where we feel as though God hasn't really answered our prayers. So what do we do in those moments? So here's a verse that I try to keep in mind, especially in those moments where I don't quite know why God is telling me no, or why He's telling me wait. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. No good thing does He withhold from those who walk uprightly. I mean, have you ever thought about this before? The things that we ask from God really aren't always the best things for us. And so I try to trust God and rely upon the fact that, you know what, God will always give me the best thing for me. And I even trust in His graces to actually tell me no in the moments where I think that I know what I want. Anyways, I hope that answer was helpful. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Gotta finish getting ready because today's gonna be a busy day. So we are in Maryland. Some of you guys might recognize this clown. We're hanging out with some friends, and we're gonna go to the Holocaust Museum and maybe see some other interesting sites here in Maryland. So I just realized I didn't really plan this vlog very well, because I'm talking about unanswered prayers, and all of a sudden I'm here at the Holocaust Museum, and like, this question has been hitting me, is like, how would I actually answer this question if I were one of these Holocaust survivors? This is actually a question I don't really know the answer to, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to learn something new here today. We just found this thing over here where you can actually talk to a Holocaust survivor, so I'm actually going to ask him what his answer to this question is. How are you today? My name is Justin. What's your name?
Henry Greenbaum.
Henry Green. Do you mind if I ask you a question? So one question that I have for you that I think a lot of people would ask also is, when you were going through what you're going through, how did you answer the question, like, God, why are you allowing this to happen?
Well, I spoke to God every day. Please save me. Look over me. Talk to God. A direct line every day. Day by day, day by day.
So
save me so they don't kill me, so I can come to America to see my sister. I knew I had one here.
So obviously your story ends out relatively positively in the sense that you're a survivor, but how do you answer the question, why did God allow this to happen for those that didn't?
Nobody can answer that. Only God can answer that. Nobody knows that answer. Why did He let my mom go and my married sisters and their children go to Jamaica and marry them? Why? 6 million they married. Why did He do that? That I don't know, but I know He was watching over me. And I made it here, and I'll never give up God. That's what sustained me, my faith and my belief in God.
Thank you so much. What would you say? Like, why doesn't God answer prayers? What are your thoughts on that?
He's not meant to.
He's not meant to? What do you mean by that?
Well, see, when people think of God answering prayers, they surmise too many things.
So you're saying that that's not even like the most important question to ask?
No.
A more important question to ask is, how am I living my life, and I'm treating other people well? If God answers the prayers, yes or no,
It's immaterial, because that's more in your mind, in your head, that you expect to get, like if you have a little child, and here, Johnny, if you do this, I'll give you a lollipop, or I'll give you an extra piece of chocolate or something. That's not the way it is. And if people think that way, I think they're misguided. There's no harm in it either way, but I don't think that's realistic.
You don't think that's the way that God works?
No, I don't think so. And I'm not a cleric, so I'm not talking
Sure.
for any religion or anything like that.
No worries.
That's the way I'm very realistic.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. So I got the chance to talk to two Holocaust survivors, and it was a really, really interesting experience. The first guy, when I asked the question, why doesn't God answer prayers, he basically said, I don't know. And I think that was a really awesome and honest response to the question, because, you know, obviously we can come up with answers and verses and things like that. But the honest truth is sometimes we just don't know the answer, and God does what God does, and it's up to us to trust and to know that God has our best interest in mind at all times. The second guy that I spoke to had a really interesting answer to the question as well. He basically said that that's actually the wrong question to ask. He says, you know, that we live in a fallen world and good things and bad things happen to people all the time, and it really doesn't have anything to deal with, like, did you pray enough? Did you read your scriptures enough? Did you fast enough? Did you go to church enough? Like, those aren't the reason why things happen. They just happen because this is the world that we live in. He said a better question to ask, rather than why isn't God answering my prayer, rather is how am I going to live my life? How am I going to treat other people? And I'm going to be compassionate, and am I going to reflect God's love to other people? And I thought that was really, really interesting, because at the end of the day, you know, we don't know the answer to these questions all the times, but what we do know is what God has called us to do, and that's to love other people and to treat each other well. Hey guys, finally made it back home after the museum, which was an awesome experience. Got to talk to those two guys, but there's a lot more to do there too. There was exhibits where you got to see what life was like in the concentration camps. You got to see a lot of different artifacts, and I would highly recommend that you check it out if you're ever in the DC area. I hope that this video was at least a little bit of a blessing to you, helping you wrestle with the question, does God really answer our prayers or not? How do you guys reconcile this issue, and is there anything that you'd like to add to the conversation down below? If you happen to be new to this channel, I just want to say a huge thank you for checking us out and spending some time with us, and I want to encourage you to check out some of our other videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit that subscribe button below, because it really does help this channel out a lot. But until next time, I'm That Christian Vlogger, and I want to encourage you to experience faith in the first person. God bless.